Alright, so this is a series called Adult Dungeons as Child Link. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, and I'm glad to be able to finally do it. So, in Ocarina of Time, you're not supposed to be able to access the adult temples as young Link, let alone beat them. But through a series of glitches, we can actually do that. So because Link can't jump, and we can't use the hook shot as a child, we have to depend on a glitch called bomb hovering to get into the forest temple. And this glitch is very interesting, actually. So we pull out a bomb, and we drop the bomb, and we backflip, and then we shield the damage from the bomb at the perfect frame, except there. So right there, I backflipped just a little too late, and the explosion actually hurt me. Glitches in Ocarina of Time are actually very demanding. They require perfect positioning. A lot of them are frame perfect, and if you mess them up, you pretty much, like, your run is pretty much dead. So coming up right here is a cutscene with the pose when they scatter and go away into the temple. But we can actually skip that cutscene by pulling out our bottle of bugs and then catching the bugs on the same frame the cutscene activates. So because of that, we can cancel this text box here, and I can regain control of Link during the cutscene. And so because of that, you can actually get into this elevator and get to the basement early on, but there'd be no point because we don't have the boss key. And you actually can't get the boss key as young Link because we wouldn't be able to kill the Poe paintings because we can't use the bow as young Link, and you need the bow in order to destroy the Poe paintings. But fortunately for us, all the loading zones for the bosses are always active in every dungeon, no matter where you are in the dungeon. So the loading zone is actually right below us in this courtyard room. And so I'm trying to get into a perfect position to be right above the loading zone. So, when young Link re-grabs onto the vines, there's actually one frame where his whole body is actually clipping into the vines. And so on that frame, we pull out a bomb chew and drop it, and so the explosion actually propels us through the vines in the wall, and that way we're able to go clip out of bounds and hit the loading zone below us. This is a cutscene for the boss, Phantom Ganon, and Ocarina of Time is notorious for their long but badass cutscenes where you can't manually skip them. So, interesting fact that I don't think many people know is that you can actually hit Phantom Ganon with several weapons. One being the bow, another being the hook shot, and the third actually being the slingshot. So as you see right there, we actually were able to damage Phantom Ganon with a slingshot. And if that wasn't the case, the run would end here because we'd have no other way of hurting Phantom Ganon. One other thing I didn't know as a child when I first played this was that there's a fake Phantom and then a real Phantom, and the fake one is a little darker than the real one, and the real one's a little brighter. Alright, so coming up here is the second phase of Ganon in which he comes out of the painting. Right here we get a quick kill on him, and I want to show that off first, and then I'll explain how we do that. Boom! Dead Ganon. Alright, so, as an adult, we can try to throw our hook shot at him, but then he spins his staff and he deflects the hook shot back and protects himself, so you can't hit him with the hook shot. But because we're child, we have access to boomerang, and the boomerang actually curves, and so it goes around his staff and he can't defend himself, and so the boomerang actually can stun him, knock him instantly to the ground, and then we can do full Deku stick damage on him and do the quick kill on him. Alright, so coming up here, we grab our heart piece, and now we have to damage ourselves to half health. And so I speed this up. And so the reason why we need to be at half health is because we want to kill ourselves with an explosive on the same frame in which we receive the medallion. Because if we were to watch this cutscene as a child, the game would crash because it knows young Link's not supposed to be able to receive this forest medallion as young Link. So we go to the corner here and we do a setup, and right here, backflip with bottle in hand. So I press bottle here and then I press sword, and that tricks the game into thinking that it knows it needs to play the cutscene of the bugs dropping, but because I pressed the sword, it confused the game, and then when we landed, it turned the cutscene of bottles being thrown on the ground to playing Ocarina. So we end up playing Ocarina with our sword, which is really silly, but very useful for this trick because you notice my B button says stop, so I'm able to regain control of Link here as we stepped in the blue warp. And we look for the frame right here in which he has a Pinocchio nose with a sword. That's the frame we start back walking. So right here, this blue warp is counting down, and we need to look for the perfect frame to pull out a bomb. Chew. And I use the painting on the right here, which is the third frame in which the painting comes out, and then we pull out a bomb chew right here. Now we look for this frame right here with where the Deku shield is just barely above this little fence here, and that's when we drop the bomb chew, and that's when we die, and then we game over on the exact same frame in which the blue warp would have loaded us out of the forest temple and into the cutscene in which we received the medallion. So, but because we were in the game over screen, that overrides the blue warp to the cutscene, and instead we respawn in the forest temple with our forest medallion.